Thank you for attending this presentation. Today I'm very excited to introduce you to a new development board from SiFive, a new important board for SiFive. As you know, RISC-V is all about ecosystem, about software, about drivers, about everything. The recent announcement of RISE consortium really helps to promote and further develop and accelerate the development of the RISC-V ecosystem. But with great ecosystem comes great responsibilities, and that includes great development boards. Without any hardware boards, or software developer or community cannot develop proper support for Linux, Android, and others. Over the past years, SiFive has been the leader in promoting the reference platform for development boards, and that has led to multiple contributions to the Linux world and other open source software. One of these boards, as you probably know, is called SiFive Unmatched, which has been a very, very popular board. We actually pretty much sold out on it. There are a couple of units remaining available in stock. People have been using that board as a reference platform, and some of them bought like 5, 6 of them at a time to build racks and farms of RISC-V enabled platforms. What is not the highest performance computer you can get out there is the most RISC-V compliant and compatible platform you can use, and that makes that thing very appealing. Due to supply shortage and difficulties to supply some of the parts on the board, we decided to come up with a new board that is even more exciting and more powerful. So today I'm really happy to introduce you to a SiFive Premier P550. It's a brand new board with a new concept of a system on module approach. Rather than having a standalone bare-bone board, we now have a module that contains the DDR5, LPDDR5, the eMMC, and the Ethernet files. And this module can be removed, can be updated later in the field, and customer will also be able to buy those modules. This board comes with an exciting new quad-core out-of-order CPU from SiFive that runs at 1.4 GHz. And the SoC where this RISC-V core fits in comes with a lot of internal additional features such as 2D and 3D accelerators, as well as NPU. You've got PCI Express supports, MIPI, DSI, and many other things. The board comes with plenty of connectivity. It's a mini DTX form factor, so it's a PC-like board that can fit into a PC case. It's got the ATX interface here, and it's got plenty of connectivity for networking, for storage with SATA, and you have the dual Ethernet ports. And Canonical is working with us to provide a full support on Ubuntu on this board, so you can expect to have PC-based like RISC-V enabled platform very soon. We're working with our partner Aero Electronics to supply this board in quantity starting July this year. And you can see here the advertised price of $650 for the 16 GB version and $800 for the 32 GB version. As you can see here, the system module is this tiny PCB that has as I said, the eMMC, DDR, some power management and clock scheme. And outside you have got all the connectivity, so that makes the whole board more flexible and more future-proof, so we can update it with ongoing updates. SiFive will be offering additional board later this year around intelligence with the AI stuff and other things that are very exciting, and that will be really complementing this board today. So this is the board layout, very PC-like. There's an M2 key here on the side that is actually only SDIO. This is to use with the Bluetooth or Wi-Fi module, for example. And the power supplies, as I said, is ATX at the bottom here, but there's also a jack just next to it, so you can actually power the board without this bulky ATX power supply. You can use a regular brick to power the board. Another interesting feature is the availability of the third Ethernet port on the board to do remote board management. so you can remotely control the board, power it up, and do many things with it remotely over a dedicated Ethernet ports. There's of course plenty of connectivity to connect to the front panel of your PC if you want to connect the USB ports, audio in and out, and there's obviously HDMI out, as well as all the fan headers and everything you need to make this board working in a PC case. So that's the layout, and you see the back, which is really compliant with a PC architecture. And the module here, a very tiny module that has all the component that require complex PCB routing that you don't want to take care of, with the PMIC and the generous 128 gigabyte of eMMC that makes also your life easier. So you don't have to deal with this clunky SD card, for example, that tend to be problematic over time. So the CPU that is found in this SoC is based upon the SiFive P550 core, which is a quad-core 64-bit, triple issue, 13 stage out of order core. This is a very nice performance update over the previous generation that comes with a much bigger caches. We've got 256 KB of cache per core, and we've got a unified 4 megabytes of cache for the cluster. It provides you with a spec int of 8.7, a spec int 2K6 per gigahertz. So it's powerful enough to run Linux desktop, and in addition to that, our partner SWin, who developed the SoC that comes in the board, has added a lot of features around the RISC-V core to make it even more interesting in a real-life application. It comes with a dedicated NPU, as well as 3D and 2D accelerator. It's got hardware, video encoder and decoder with up to 8K resolution. And it also has a BP DSI, although the BP DSI is not accessible on this board directly. There's no connector for it. And as well as many other things like PCI Express, Ethernet, USB 3.0, and so on. So it's a pretty complex and close to the real world requirements for single chip operation, and gives you enough performance to envision high-end application, vision, and application that requires AI and high-end decoding functions. The P550 is part of the family of product that SiFive is promoting. So we have everything from the lower-end embedded cores up to the higher-end 64-bit core, multi-core, multi-clusters for data centers and automotive applications. We also have a range of products dedicated to AI, with where we make use of the vector, the RISC-V vector capabilities. So there's really a range of products you can look at when developing your RISC-V core, and you can actually work on this board here and then downsize it or upsize it if you need. In the future, this is the great approach of the RISC-V architecture. So P550 is one of the products we announced a couple of years ago now. We announced last year the P670, so we will eventually have a system and module board for this board with the new P670 that brings even more performance and more integration. And we also announced the P870, which is a data center class processor that will be deployed in data centers as well as automotive. So the board is running here on a booth. Please stop by to see the live demo. It's decoding video. It's running Tux cards as a game. It's an early Linux desktop. There will be a full-blown Ubuntu desktop in July. So stay tuned, and stay tuned also for the other board we'll be announcing this year. We believe this is a really important moment for the SiFive community to have this reference platform, to have this, trusted reference development platform that people can use to port software, to develop OSs, and support the community. Thank you very much for your time, and if you have any question, please do not hesitate to ask.